Namaste everyone. This is our third lecture of business activities. Now in this lecture we are going to discuss meaning and nature of commerce. So far we have seen the meaning and definition of business, characteristics of business and different types of business. In this unit we will first see meaning and nature of commerce. Commerce is concerned with buying, selling and distribution of commodities. It is an organized system for the exchange of goods and services between the members of business world and rest of the society. Commerce consists of all those activities which are essential for maintaining a free flow of goods and services from producers to consumers. It involves not only the functions of buying and selling but several other activities required to transport, insure, store and finance goods. In other words, commerce comprises trade and the various auxiliaries to trade. So, in short, what we can say that commerce involves trade, that means buying and selling, and various auxiliaries to trade, that means various other facilities provided for trading. Commerce is that branch of business which involves the buying and selling of goods, the exchange of commodities and the distribution of finished product. Okay, so commerce is that branch of business. So commerce is what? Commerce is a branch of business. If you see in the beginning, we have seen the category of business activities as industries and commerce. So industries we have seen. Now we are involved in this commerce. We are seeing what is commerce. So commerce is that branch of business which involves in buying and selling of goods, the exchange of commodities and the distribution of finished product. So three activities are involved. One is buying and selling of goods. Okay, manufacturing we have already seen. So buying and selling of goods, then exchange of commodities and distribution of finished product. In the words of James Stephenson, commerce is concerned with exchange of goods, with all that is involved in the buying and selling of goods at any stage in their progress, from raw material to finished goods in the consumer's hand. It covers not only the functions of buying, selling and handling goods, but also the many services which must be provided to finance, insure, store and transport goods in the course of these exchanges. So it not only involves buying and selling. Okay, again and again we are seeing that in business it not only involves buying and selling and handling of good, but it also involves many services which must be provided to finance, many other services, finance, insurance, storage, transportation, etc. All these activities which establish link between producer and consumer of the goods and maintain a smooth and uninterrupted flow of goods between them constitute the commerce. So here all these activities, what they do? They provide an uninterrupted link between producer and consumer. Production of goods has no meaning unless the goods produced are exchanged between the producer and consumer for mutual benefit. So if a producer produces a good and if there is no consumer to buy those goods, then there is no meaning of producing the goods. So production of goods has no meaning unless the goods produced are exchanged between the producer and consumer for their mutual benefits. Commerce provide a mean for the exchange and distribution of goods. So with the help of commerce, we are doing this activity, that we are exchanging the goods with producer and consumer. It serves as a link between producer and the consumer and thereby bridges the gap between them. It provides a pipeline for the movement of goods from producer to user. Production is concentrated at a particular place while consumers are scattered throughout the country. Now you can see that a company is established at one part of the country, there it is producing its goods, and their consumers are scattered in different parts of the country, sometimes even throughout the world. The purpose of commerce is to provide goods and services at the right time and at the right place. It creates time, place and position utility. So commerce, what it is doing? Commerce is supplying the goods produced by producer, okay, to the consumer at right time when, that means when it is needed, at right place, that is where it is needed, and hence creating time, place and possession utility, that means it is supplying that good to the consumer, final consumer. Importance of commerce, okay. So here for example, the what we can say that the winter clothes, okay, for example the winter clothes, okay, they are manufactured at one center, okay, then it is transported in winter season to the places where it is more cold, okay. So this supply of winter clothes to the places where it is more cold is done with commerce. Importance of commerce: the exchange of goods is a complex process. We said with several types of hindrances. So exchange of goods means once producer has produced the goods, then he need to exchange those goods with consumer, but there are lot of hindrances involved in between. There are lot of obstacles, we can say. According to James Stephenson, commerce embraces all those activities which help to break the barrier between producer and the consumer. It is the sum total of those processes which are engaged in removal of hindrances of personal, place and time in the exchange of commodities. Thus the main function of commerce is to remove the following hindrances. So commerce, in short, what we can say that the commerce is involved in removing the following hindrances. First is hindrance of person. This hindrance refers to the lack of contact between producer and the consumer. So hindrance of person means lack of contact between producer and consumer. The producer is faced with the problem of finding the buyer who need the goods he has produced and who are able and willing to buy such goods. The consumer does not know the source of supply of the goods which would satisfy his need at price he can afford. Now consumer, he does not know from where to buy, and the producer, he does not know to whom to sell, okay. So there is a problem. Commerce remove this hindrance by means of trade. So commerce, it is removing this hindrance by means of trade. Trade provide an organized market where the buyer and seller can contact each other. It saves both producers and consumers from time consuming and expensive exercise of locating each other, okay. So again I can give you example. Here again we will take the example of bread only, okay, from Britannia company, let us say. So Britannia company is a producer, but you are not going to Britannia company for purchasing the bread, and the Britannia company is not coming to your doorstep to sell his bread. What is happening? That there are various shops, we can say. We are going to shop, okay, and purchasing bread, and those shop owners, they are purchasing bread from some wholesaler who has already purchased those breads from Britannia company. So this is one hindrance of person, which is avoided with the help of commerce. So this wholesaler and trader are the shop owners, they are nothing but they are the part of commerce. Second is hindrance of place. A major problem faced by producer is to send these goods to distant place without loss through theft, pilferage, damage, etc. Commerce solves this problem by means of transport, packing and insurance. So commerce is providing transportation facility, packing facility, insurance facility, and by that commerce is shifting, or commerce is moving the produced goods from one place to another place. Modern means of transport carry goods to far off places quickly and safely. So here we have one chart in which we have various hindrances and the way how the commerce removes these hindrances. So we will see this chart, okay, afterwards. Third is hindrance of time. In modern industry, goods are produced on a large scale in anticipation of demand. There is usually a time gap between the production and consumption of goods. So when goods are required at that time, if we start producing, then it will be too late, right? So in advance the goods are produced and the time when they are required, they are supplied. So therefore it becomes necessary to store the goods until they are sold. This problem is solved by warehousing or storage. Warehouses provide suitable storage facilities to protect the goods from fire, rain, pest, etc. Warehousing is thus an integral part of commerce. Now fourth is hindrance of risk. During transit and storage, goods may be damaged or destroyed by fire, flood, earthquake, etc. Packing of goods help to preserve these quality in transit. So transit means during movement. So during movement there may be chance of damage. So these commerce, okay, what it does, it provide some packing facility with which there is less chance of damage of quality. With the help of insurance, businessmen can cover the risk of loss due to damage and destruction during transit. Similarly, commerce provide insurance by which the loss because of some damage is minimized, and thus transportation, packing and insurance are usual commercial activities. So hindrance of risk means the problem of risk is also solved with commerce. Problem of time, that when I produced and when it is going to be consumed, that time gap was also solved with commerce by warehousing. Problem of place, that I have produced something at one place and it need to be transported to some other place, is also solved by commerce by transportation facility. And hindrance of person, that means I am producer, I don't know to whom sell, and there is a consumer who don't know from where to buy, that problem is also solved by commerce. So this is how the commerce is solving the risk or problems. Now hindrance of finance. Buying and selling of goods between persons living in different places require a common medium of payment. Money serves as a common medium of payment. However, convenient and safe means of payment are required to settle the transactions. Banking help to remove this obstacle in the process of exchange by making and collecting payment on behalf of their client. Now businessmen can send money from one place to another in the form of bank draft, check, etc. without facing any risk. Bank also provide credit in the form of overdraft, letter of credit, cash credit, discounting of bill, etc. So problem related with money is solved with banking system. Again, this banking system is a part of commerce. And hindrance of knowledge. Often a producer or merchant find it difficult to sell his goods and services because consumers are not aware of their benefit and uses. So producer has produced something, but who will tell the benefit of those product to consumer? So this problem is solved by advertising. So advertising and sale promotion removes this hindrance by bringing goods and services to the knowledge of consumer. So advertising, what it does, it informs consumer about the product. Advertising is also persuade people to buy the goods and services, and by advertising we persuade consumers to buy the product. So here we have seen 6 different hindrances and how they are solved with commerce. So let us see this chart. Hindrance of person. So commerce removes this hindrance by creating a link between producer and consumer. Traders establish a contact between producer and consumer. Hindrance of place. Commerce removes this hindrance by moving goods from the place of production to the place of consumption through the various modes of transport. Hindrance of time. Commerce removes this hindrance by holding and preserving goods in warehouses until they are sold to consumers. Hindrance of risk. Commerce removes the risk of loss or damage due to theft, fire, accident, etc. by means of insurance. Hindrance of finance. Commerce remove this hindrance by providing finance through banking. And hindrance of knowledge. So commerce remove this hindrance by providing information about goods and services for prospective consumer through advertising. So there are 6 hindrances, and how it was removed is given here. So how commerce is removing these hindrances. Now types of branches of commerce. So commerce consists of trade and aids to trade. Trade and its types. Trade means buying and selling of goods. It involves the exchange of commodities for money or money's worth. It is means by which people sell those goods which they do not need. Traders serve as a link between producer and consumer. They help in directing the flow of goods to the most profitable market. They also bring about the equitable distribution of goods. In the absence of trade, producers will have to go in search of consumers. Trade is the nucleus of commerce. Other part of commerce such as transport, insurance, warehousing, banking and advertising revolve around the trade. Okay, so trade is the very important part of commerce. Trade means buying and selling, actual buying and selling. Where it is happening? It is happening in a market. So trade is of following type. One is domestic trade. Internal trade refers to buying and selling of the goods and services within a geographical boundaries of one country. So when this buying and selling is happening within the country, then it is your domestic trade, your internal trade. Both the buyer and the seller belong to same country. It is also known as home trade or internal trade. Payment in this type of trade are made and received in home currency. Internal trade can further be divided into 2 categories. Wholesale trade. So this internal trade which is happening within the country, we divide it into category. One is wholesale trade and retail trade. Wholesale trade refers to buying of goods in bulk from manufacturer and selling them in large quantities to retailer and industrial users in relatively small quantities. The person engaged in wholesale trade is called wholesaler. They serve as a link between producer and retailer. So the shop which you see near your building, they are retail shops. Okay, from there you buy things in small quantities. Now there are wholesale trades. Wholesale trades means they purchase goods in bulk directly from industries. Okay, and then they distribute those goods in small quantities to retailers, and from retailers we purchase them even in small quantities. So there is wholesale trade and retail trade. In retail trade refers to buying of the goods from wholesaler and manufacturers and selling them in small quantities directly to ultimate consumer. So retailer, what they do, they directly sell to the consumer. Persons engaged in retail trade are called retailers. They serve as a link between wholesaler and final consumer. Foreign trade. Foreign trade. External trade refers to buying and selling of goods and services between different countries. Foreign trade means external trade. It refers to buying and selling of goods and services between different countries. So between one country and another. In this trade, the seller and the buyer belong to different countries. It is also known as an international trade or the external trade. Okay, it may further be divided as follows. Import trade. It means purchasing goods and services from other countries. For example, India imports petroleum product from Iran and Iraq. There is export trade, that it involves selling goods and services to other countries. For example, India export tea to USA and UK. And interport trade, it means importing goods from one or more country with the purpose of exporting them to some other country. For example, India may export some of the oil imported from Iraq to Bangladesh. So I am purchasing goods from one country and I am selling those goods to some other country. So this is your interport trade. Quite often the term trade and commerce are used interchangeably. In reality, commerce is a wide term and trade is a part of commerce. So interchangeably means in place of commerce we use trade, in place of trade we use commerce. But in reality, trade is a part of commerce. Trade implies buying and selling of goods and services. On the other hand, commerce includes all the activities which ensure a free flow of goods from producer to ultimate consumer. So trade is only a part that where we are discussing about buying and selling. But in commerce, we are making sure that this buying and selling happen smoothly. In addition to trade, commerce consists of transportation, warehousing, banking, insurance and other activities which facilitates trade. So commerce, it is a collection of your trading activity as well as your insurance and your transportation and your warehousing, etc. Commerce plays a vital role in distribution of product all over the world. Without commerce, industry cannot develop. So without commerce, we cannot develop our industries. So here in this unit, what we discussed here in this unit, if we see, we have discussed about commerce. Okay, we have seen what is the meaning and nature of commerce. The importance of commerce, we have seen the importance of commerce. This is very important part, importance of commerce, what commerce is doing. So it is removing different types of hindrances, different types of obstacles. Okay, hindrance of person, hindrance of place, hindrance of time, hindrance of risk, hindrance of finance, hindrance of knowledge. So all these hindrances are removed with the help of what? With the help of commerce. We have seen branches of commerce like trade and aids to trade, and that we are seeing trade. Okay, trade and its types. So we have seen two types of trade. One is domestic trade and second is foreign trade. In domestic trade we have seen two types, wholesale trade and retail trade, and in foreign trade we have seen three types, that is import, export and interport. Okay, so I stop my lecture here. In the next lecture we will see types of aids to trade. Okay, types of aids to trade, that is our last part. Okay, then we have distinction between organization, firm and company. So in next lecture we will finish this chapter. Okay, so thank you.